Hey, happy Saturday, everybody. How y'all doing out there? Hope you can hear me well. Yes, no Brian today. He's too busy with his family, but you're here with me. I'm here with you. That's the best we got. I see all your names popping in. Really appreciate all you guys. Seeing a lot. Your names are all really familiar here, you guys, and that feels really good. Really appreciate you spending a little time with me. So this video, I wanted to talk about arpeggios because I did a quick little short the other day on the Comfortably Numb solo. And as and I've got a riff theory of that coming out as well. That's why I kind of had it down at the time. You know, it was fresh. But as I looked at it, it's really playing off of the arpeggios, which are the chord tones, but the arpeggios and the chord tones come from the scales. It took me a long time, and I'm still working on it, but that kind of seeing that it's all one thing, like I can see that the scale and the chord, I can visualize the arpeggio chord scale all as, just one thing. I can just see the neck and put that together, but it doesn't happen overnight. And like I said, I'm still working on that, but that's come a long way for me, and I have some tips that have helped me along the way, and that's what I'm going to try and do for you all as we speak right now. I'm going to just take the D major chord and the A major chord because that's in the Comfortably Numb solo. I'm not going to play that solo. I'm just going to try and not play anything recognizable. We'll see what happens. It usually doesn't happen. But anyway, a D chord and an A major chord. Yeah, we're all still working. We're all on this journey. Don't worry. Doesn't matter where you're at. I think you can get something from this. So look, I'll just take a D chord. I'm playing these. It's just 3 notes. Now you go, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Didn't you just play 4 notes? I did, but I played a D note twice. I played a D, an A, a D, and then an F sharp. Let me just tune here a little, just double check. So a D chord is 3 notes. It's a D, an F sharp, and an A. Now, a D, an F sharp, and an A exist all over every instrument. You know, it's not just right here where you can play a D note, an F sharp note, and an A note. And you can spend a long time mapping. Yeah, I got a tuner on this guitar. It's hidden right behind the neck right here. So those notes are everywhere. I can go anywhere and find D, F sharps, and A's. And you can map it out. And you can just start in one simple spot. But the one I is really useful, and I did it in sitting on my wallet. It was uneven, you know. So just look at this. A D chord up here on the 10th fret E root. Okay, well, if I looked at this entire bar chord, which I know is a D, I'm playing all 6 strings now. But that means it's still just D, F sharp, and A's in different combinations. Let me just test that real quick before we go to the arpeggio. D, A, yep. D again. F sharp. A again. D again. So it's just those 3 notes. A couple of them repeat in octaves, right? So check this out. There's an F sharp right here that's not in that bar chord because we're playing it right here. It's right there. So here's this really helpful arpeggio. Now, you're not just going to play an arpeggio in a solo. It does happen sometimes. But I'd say even more important than playing super fast arpeggios are, if you get good at them, then you can visualize all the chord tones of the chord you're playing over. And there's embellishments as well. So it's not just limited to those, but those are the, you know, it's the structure that a melody should be built around, are those chord tones. So put your middle finger on the D note. We're going to play a D major arpeggio right now. So that's a D note, right? 10th fret with our middle finger, because then our index finger is going to play the F sharp on the 9th fret A string. All we have left is an A note, which is the 12th fret A, right? So that's a D major arpeggio. Do the exact same thing, but put your middle finger on the 12th fret of the D. Now we have to, the B string, you know, is a half step off from the way the other strings are tuned. So now we're going to do the exact same thing on that D note again, but it's the 15th fret B. Exact same fingerings in 3 octaves of just those 3 notes. So we can instead of thinking of it as, which is what I just showed you, just break it down into those 3 octaves like this. and then try and go backwards. So on that 12th fret descending, I have to cover, or how I do it is cover the 12th fret D to A. This is a really good thing to practice, even if it doesn't make its way into your soloing or whatever. It's really good for your knowledge, and it helps you map the fretboard out too, and it's a major chord. I mean, and then the cool thing is you can superimpose these over other chords and progressions. It's not just even a, you can get really deep into all this stuff, but right now we're just playing a D major triad. So then let's just do the same thing for A major. Everything's the same. We just start now on the A note on the E string. You can even visualize that bar chord. We're going to put our middle finger there. And it's the same thing. Just the major is the exact same thing. I just went a little crazy there, but really helpful. E root, major arpeggio. Let's go back to D major again. Now, we can add what's called the 4. And the arpeggio would be a sus4. So I play everything I just did, but we're also adding a 4th note to that little sequence, which would be a G note. And so then it looks like this. Instead of, now it's, oh, when the saints. But if you combine it with the next 2 octaves, when you get a 4th note, it also gives you more opportunity. You have more options now. But so the D major sus4 arpeggio looks like this one more time. So if I did that for A, which remember was this, but I added the sus4, you now get this. And yeah, Jessica is the A is in the key of A. But so if I just took the real slow D to A. Grab. So that's just a D to A loop, but I'm going to do it with that sus4 bit, and you hear it, you know, so it's, it's like elements of that over the D chord for D sus4 and elements of the A one over the A chord, like this. Oh, the Top Gear is the song Jessica by the Allman Brothers. I noticed people in the UK refer to Jessica a lot with it being used in that Top Gear theme music for that show. Allman Brothers. Yeah. Top Gear. Yeah. There we go, everybody. Okay, so that's a major arpeggio, but you can do another really useful one is the just straight dominant 7 arpeggio. And so instead of adding that G note, we're adding the 10th fret on the D for and that outlines a blues. So if I'm doing E7 right here, A7, back to E7. So you're not going to just always play arpeggios, but like I said, they outline the chord tones. So you can start with that major arpeggio. There's a minor. Now I'll play E7. So that's just A minor to E7, which gives you this A harmonic minor sound. That's what you're hearing, the more dramatic sound. But that's just to show you, well, if you really want to be Santana-ish, we can do that. Pentatonic is still the way to go for I'm still working on the pentatonic scale, but the arpeggios, I just noticed how they really outlined the solo of Comfortably Numb, and that's considered one of the most melodic solos and best solos of all time. And when I looked at it, it was really chord tones over the progression. And even, and it's not in the song, but I did it in my little short, just to give an example. It does, A, C, G, D. And so if I knew just the major arpeggios for that, remember I said A, C, G, D. I can do it for anything, but like Hey Joe, it's a circle of fists, which makes it, yeah. Now I can see the E7 right here. And if I just knew that I could hammer on the major third, I would, one extra little tweak to that sounds like this. Could add chromaticism to that arpeggio. I can still see the outline of. right. So any questions or anything? I'm going to tune again. It's really hot in this room. One, two, one, music for life. Marty, are you good enough to play Guns N' Roses? Guns N' Roses, a couple years ago, their lawyers threatened to sue me, made me take down all my lessons on them, and also banned me from ever teaching them again. That's true. Some people don't believe that, which is silly. Because if you remember from many years ago, I had put the whole Slash solo from Paradise or from Sweet Ottoman up. Josh Norco, thank you for your super chat, buddy. And is my signature guitar going to be available on my website exclusively? No, it's going to be through Gibson Epiphone. There'll be a link through my website. And I believe it's a limited run, so I'm not sure if they've designated some for some of their dealers. There's not many Gibson dealers anymore, and you just can buy directly from them. So I'm thinking, and that's, by the way, and yeah, it could be shipped to the UK. Greg Roberts, thanks for asking. But so my Epiphone version of an ES335 in cherry red is coming out in 10 days, folks. 10 days, August 22nd. My signature guitar with Epiphone's coming out. I prefer humbuckers on that guitar, but Captain Taggart from Police Academy. Gen Xers out there? Anyone? Police Academy? Well, on this guitar I prefer humbuckers, but with my my signature guitar. Yeah, man. Signature guitar, August 22nd. You can sign my newsletter at martymusic.com. Also, my Access TV show. Been hearing from a lot of people that have been watching it. Tuesdays at 8 Central. Marty Music Guitar Academy. I always got to plug that. Will Grant says, what brand looper should I buy? I recommend, I'm using down here on the ground, a Boss RC1. It's just a single stomp, very affordable, very solid. Bosses, make really solid gear. And then I use an FS5U little extension switch as like a shut off and delete. And you get to, that's still cheaper than like the 2-pedal one. So that's what I would go for. It's very fun. Great practice tool. The best. Do I have any tips to combine some arpeggios? Well, if you can learn the arpeggios in learn the A root one next. So for instance, we were just doing D to A. If you learn the D root for A, for instance, would be here. And so that's the A root major arpeggio. If I play that for a D major chord, I can also do this other position like this. Oh, the humbucker, my signature ES335, it has push-pull, so you can make the pickups, you pull the knob, and it becomes single coil. That's what I was going to... Thank you for letting me finish what I was trying to say. Do the arpeggios help you find the bar chords, Marty? They're the same thing. Neither should help the other. They're just like, if I see this, I know this. Still tuning. I gotta put new strings on this too. So D chord, I can go, and I know it's, sorry. An A right here. So then, if you're talking about a chord progression, yeah, Eric Johnson does really. He does actually do really like interesting arpeggios. Like, he does all kinds of. He does do stuff like that. For me, I'm not always throwing crazy arpeggios in, but they're just part of that visualization process, like a D chord. Any chord, I can see the arpeggio, and it didn't happen overnight. I still remember not being able to play a bar chord, but so I can see a D chord, but I can see. Yeah, I appreciate the question. What should a church guitarist focus on? Jesus. Okay. Is that the punchline there? Because what I was going to say is when I was teaching private lessons, I helped some younger guitar students get into their church band, and so I do actually have a real answer. That's why I picked that out. And most of the churches use the lyrics with the chord charts, capos. So it's all the open cowboy chords. Recognize them, strum them. Get really used to them. That would be my first suggestion. But I don't know if it was just a little jokey joke. Okay. Trombone in church. Nice. It is Trent is asking, can you explain how to form an arpeggio like I'm a toddler? Yeah. Do you know a D major chord? Take it and play each note by itself, and that is a D arpeggio. So in the most simplest explanation, that is what an arpeggio. It's when you play the notes of a chord. individually. So if I play an E minor, I just strummed it, all the notes together as a chord. But if I wanted to play an E minor arpeggio without knowing spider fingers, that was an E minor arpeggio. You want to hear a C major arpeggio? But as you progress on the guitar, you can find those same notes all over the place. So C, E, G. Well, G's right here also. So that means instead of going, I could also go, you hear how it's the same? And so it's a way to map out the notes of chords. And they come from a scale. So if I saw this, I can also see that there's other extra notes too. And yeah, the David Gilmour First Comfortably Numb solo, he's not going do 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 do. Obviously, he's going na 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 na. I mean, just all those sweet notes are from the arpeggio. You know, the first two notes come from the. And then when it changes to A, it comes from that same thing over A, which if I just stayed in the same position. So just that alone sounds really nice. And then the chord C to G, C again to G, and then A, C, so even in that bluesy setting, I can see a D major, but I see all the blues notes to take that D major and make it a blues sound. So there's notes around it, but I can see the outline of the chord. So watch, I'll stay in D, but I'll just go 1, 4, 5. And so for D, I'll be around this area. And then for the 4 chord, I'll be in all the stuff I know for G. And then for the turnaround, I'll be all the stuff I know for A. And this, my guitar teacher, Chris Sherland, gave me this assignment back in college, and I couldn't do it, and now I can. But there was no day where I woke up and was like, oh, I can all of a sudden do it. It was just a little bit better and a little bit better. Okay. D7, G7, and A7, and I can see the arpeggios. Here we go. So then another thing, you try it in just one position, right? So yeah, I did start to go. Those are major arpeggios. Okay, so then you can challenge yourself and do it in just one spot. So D, G, and A7. It wasn't really bluegrass, but they do some of that. I mean, it's more just kind of blues. Bluegrass would be yeah. I guess I was playing the same kind of notes. Thank you, David Belcher. Greg Roberts, thanks. Ronald Dulac. Yeah, so you can take, I was playing that in D, so the D major arpeggio, 5 on the A, 4 on the D, 7, but then the extra, that flat 7 of the scale is the 5th fret of the G string. And I do like to relate back how I could not do this. And I guess I'm doing it today, but there was no one day I couldn't, one day I could. And I emphasize that a lot, that it's just this like slow evolution. The more you add, you just got to keep playing. But these little ideas will help. So this is weird. Now, when you hammer on, sounds great. Now I'm in G. back to D, and then A. Now check it out. If someone did say Santana, if you're in like a minor kind of thing, you're dealing with different kinds of arpeggios. So didn't cover everything, but that's a lot. Gizer says he's been playing for about 1 to 2 months and he's wanting to know some beginner intermediate songs. Well, depends on what your style you like, because the most motivation you get is like learning stuff you really, really like. There's plenty of intermediate or beginner intermediate stuff in all genres that you can pick from. Greg Roberts, it's okay, man. I mean, honestly, check it out. So, the most simple, right? Just the roots. D. And then for G, I just got to find another G. Back to D. A. G's down here too. And then D. Now I'm going to do it with my ring finger. Okay, so now I'm going to keep that idea, but I'm going to add, which is just the major third. It's part of the arpeggio. And you can see it's right a half step lower on the next string. But instead of just doing that, I'm going to hammer every time. Rick Beato streaming live right now, and you're tuned in here. Oh, thanks, Bob. Rick makes amazing content, Can't really argue with that. Maybe I'm not yelling as much, though. I respect Rick a lot. Marty, I heard Axl Rose doesn't rate you as a guitar player. I don't think Axl Rose even knows who I am, so I highly doubt that. And let's see. Captain Taggart. All my courses, except for I believe the pentatonic exercise course does not have tabs, but that course is free. So all my paid courses have PDFs and written stuff that comes with them. MartyMusic.com. And MartyMusic.com is the only, honestly, as far as the Guns N' Roses thing, I really think it's just a lawyer thing. I don't really hold it against the band or Axl or anything, nor do I even know the story other than it was someone in the publishing, then, it was just a really stupid, I kind of got it was brought to their attention, basically. Thank you, everyone. Sorry, I'm just looking at your comments. Demetrius, thank you. I've never been to Greece. I've been to Europe. I've been around Europe, but I've never made it to Greece, so I'd love to go. Okay, yeah. So anyone, though, in near or wants to take a trip to Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, great music city, great restaurant city. I'm playing September 1st. I'm going to be giving away one of my signature guitars. I've got Grace Bowers opening the show, guest guitar shredding from one of my favorite guitar players, basically. Guthrie Trapp is incredible, and Jared James Nichols is awesome and such a great guy as well. And then other surprises. People are going to be showing up. I'm going to give away a Boss Katana, all that. So that's September 1st in Nashville. My signature guitar comes out August 22nd. You can sign my newsletter. Just go to martymusic.com, and you can sorry, looking at your comments still. You can go to martymusic.com and sign my newsletter. You'll get some free courses, and then also notify you on the various ways you can get the signature guitar and all that other stuff. I think I'm going to put together some kind of intermediate course, maybe like a practice routine course. So it's probably the next thing I'm working on, but I haven't done it yet. Trent Barnes says, I feel like I'm close to being an intermediate player, but not sure what I need to feel like I'm in the next level. Don't really worry about it. But the more you get yourself out there in musical situations, it'll tell you what you need to work on, I can't tell you by not playing with you, but I think versatility is much more important than playing an amazing solo. Any band that's looking for a musician is gonna your backup vocals will be more important than your soloing skills, for example, and your rhythm guitar will be more important than your soloing skills. So look at what your goals are. Not everyone has the same goals, so I can't really say, this makes you, nor should you worry about what makes you an intermediate, what doesn't make you an advanced. Just keep learning new things. Singing harmonies. So sing a harmony would be for instance, one vocal singing one note of the chord, ah, and another vocalist is singing, ah, 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 ah. That's singing a harmony. Ah, 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 ah. Not working great, but what is I look to the stars and the answer is clear. I look in the mirror and see what I fear. Can anyone tell me what that is? Look to the stars and the answer is clear. I look in the mirror and see what I fear. Yes, Evan Wright. He got it. Spinal Tap. See. Marty Schwartz, lead guitar. Um, So what's great is you've got those arpeggios, and like in a blues in D, you've got the arpeggios, but you always have just the straight, amazing forever D minor pentatonic. Forever. All right. One more little jam, and then we'll see you guys. Have a great weekend. Shout out to Anvil. Trent Barnes, thanks. Have a great weekend. See you guys. Thanks for hanging out.